The story continues from where hope was born. Prophet Ibrahim A.S. now held his long-awaited son, Ismaeel A.S., close to his heart. This was the child he had prayed for years, the child Allah had finally blessed him with in his old age. Yet, not long after the joy of his birth, Allah commanded something that would test his faith more than ever before. One day, Allah ordered Prophet Ibrahim A.S. to take his wife Hajar R.A. and their infant son to a distant valley, a land with no trees, no water, and no sign of life. Imagine a father, walking silently through miles of hot, empty desert, knowing in his heart that he's being guided by divine will. He doesn't question, he doesn't argue, he simply obeys. The sun burned above them, and the sand stretched endlessly around, until finally, they reached a place between two small hills, the hills that we know today as Safa and Marwa. There, Ibrahim A.S. stopped. He helped Hajar R.A. down, placed little Ismaeel gently on the ground, and began to walk away. Hajar looked around in confusion. "Oh, Ibrahim," she called out softly, "where are you going? Are you leaving us here, in this empty desert where there's no one to talk to, no water to drink?" Ibrahim A.S. didn't answer. His heart was heavy, his throat dry from emotion. She asked again, louder this time, "Oh, Ibrahim, has Allah commanded you to do this?" He stopped. His steps slowed. And with his back still turned, he nodded silently and said, "Yes, Allah has commanded it." At that moment, Hajar's heart softened. The fear on her face turned to calmness. She looked at her husband with tears in her eyes and said words that still echo in the hearts of believers today. "Then Allah will never abandon us." Ibrahim A.S. walked away, his heart aching, his tears hidden. When he reached a point where they could no longer see each other, he turned toward the sky and raised his hands in dua, saying, "O my Lord, I have settled some of my descendants in a barren valley near your sacred house, so that they may establish prayer. O Lord, make hearts among the people inclined toward them, and provide for them sustenance, so that they may be grateful." With that prayer he left, trusting fully in Allah's plan. Days passed. The blazing sun showed no mercy. The small amount of food and water Hajar R.A. had brought with her was soon gone. Baby Ismaeel began to cry, his lips dry, his body weak from thirst. Every mother knows that pain, the helplessness of watching her child suffer and not being able to help. Desperate and heartbroken, Hajar placed her baby down and ran toward the nearest hill, Safa, hoping to see a traveler or a caravan passing by. She looked in every direction, but there was nothing. Just silence, wind, and sand. Then she ran down, crossed the valley, and climbed the next hill, Marwa, her heart beating fast, her feet aching, her soul praying for a miracle. Still, there was no one. So she ran again, back and forth, from Safa to Marwa, not once or twice, but 7 times, her heart filled with hope and fear. Each time she reached the top, she called out, "Is there anyone out there? Can someone help us?" But the desert answered only with silence. That moment, Hajar was not just a mother. She was a symbol of strength, faith, and perseverance. Then, on her 7th run, as she returned to her baby, exhausted, trembling, and close to collapse, she saw something amazing. A small sound came from beneath the sand, near baby Ismaeel's tiny feet. She looked closer, and suddenly, water began to burst out from the earth. Cool, clear, and pure. It flowed like mercy itself, a spring of life in a land of death. Hajar's eyes filled with tears of joy as she shouted, "Subhanallah!" She ran to the water, cupped it in her hands, and gave it to her thirsty child. That spring would later be known as Zamzam, a gift from Allah, a reward for faith, and a sign that no one who trusts him is ever truly alone. Even today, millions of believers drink from that same water in Mecca, a reminder of one woman's patience and one child's blessing. Soon after, a caravan from the tribe of Jurim passed by the valley. They noticed birds flying overhead, a sign that water must be nearby. When they reached the place, they saw Hajar and baby Ismaeel beside the flowing spring. They asked her permission to settle there, and Hajar, wise and strong, said, "Yes, you may stay, but the water of Zamzam belongs to me and my son." They agreed. And so, life began to flourish in that once empty desert. The valley that had no people, no plants, and no hope became a living land, the beginnings of the holy city of Mecca. This story is more than a moment in history. It's a message for all of us, that faith doesn't mean life will be easy, but that Allah will never leave those who believe in Him. Hajar showed the world that even when everything seems lost, Allah's mercy can appear from beneath your feet. When you run between your own Safa and Marwa, your struggles, your fears, your moments of desperation, remember her strength. Remember that Allah sees you, just as He saw her. As the sun set over that small valley, Hajar held baby Ismaeel close, the sound of Zamzam water flowing beside them, and whispered in her heart, "My Lord, you never leave your servants alone." And that is how faith turned an empty desert into a sacred place. How a mother's trust became a miracle that still lives today. Continue this emotional journey. Watch the next part.